So I just want to share this story. I was having a wonderful day yesterday, and I was vibing really high, and people in their cars were looking at me and smiling at me and seeing me in this traffic, this woman smiling. And I have this kennel for my dog in my car, and it fits perfectly, which also means you have to jimmy it just right to get it in and out. And it went in fine, and as I went to go get it out, I said, oh, it always goes in fine. It's getting it out that's difficult. And I started to feel the frustration as I'm yanking, pulling. And I stopped, and as I let my hands go, a butterfly came and landed right on the carrier and changed my focus. And I just smiled and pulled it right back out.
So what that's saying to you, that's saying all of the things that we're talking about here, but the most significant thing that that's saying is that in that mild frustration that you felt, you had not dipped too far from who you really are. And so you still had access to things like the butterfly that could cause it to tip that way. But we want to emphasize it does not matter if you had tipped all the way into despair. It does not matter if you had bent the thing getting it out. In other words, it doesn't matter where you are in relationship with where you want to be, because you can always, under all conditions, get to where you want to be. And once you know that, then maybe you'll stop beating up on yourself for not being where you want to be. And maybe you'll start enjoying the contrast, and maybe you'll start understanding that that's why you came forth. You did not say from your non-physical perspective, I'll go forth but get it all cleaned up before I get there. Feather my nest perfectly and get everybody lined up so that nothing ever happens to me that isn't just the way I will like it when it happens. You never said that. You said, I want the contrast. I want the expansion. I want the opportunity to become more. And I've got guidance that will let me then become or merge with or allow that which life has caused me to become.
So I need to be comfortable being a flake and being in anger and be okay in those vibrations and move it up from there.
You have the ability to go up the emotional scale no matter where you are. And the point that we are wanting to make, and what we so much want you to feel as you are leaving this gathering today, is, it might be good to write this down, it's going to be really important. Where I am is where I am. Where I am is where I am, and that's just fine. Where I am is where I am. Where I am is where I am. Where you are is where you are, but the important thing is you can go to wherever you want to be from where you are. So make peace with where you are. It's so much easier to move from where you are to where you want to be if you've made peace with where you are. That's what helped Esther. She sat with that process in front of her, realizing that the process was there because it's normal to be in a place that you don't want to be. That's why the process exists. So doing the process gave Esther the first step in 2 days of stopping her condemnation of herself for being in a place she didn't think she should be. It caused her to lose her embarrassment about being in the place that she didn't think she should be and make peace with being there. And oh boy, was that a big step. Make peace with where you are. Where you are is where you are. Did you write it down? Where you are, where I am is where I am. And it's just fine. And from here I can get anywhere. Good time for a segment of refreshment.
Thank you.
We are complete. Good morning.
I have a 9-year-old beautiful daughter and a 5-year-old daughter. And most of my family has been very upset that I never had either one of them baptized. And my feelings were that they came from God and they're still God. And if that would make them happy, they can come over and we can go in my bathroom and put them in the tub and whatever they want to do. My challenge is right now is that my 9-year-old really is upset that her mommy does not take her to church. And I have a situation with organized religion, and I want them to have a more broader view. How can I teach them these principles at such an age where they can understand?
Well, they're old enough, especially your older one, to understand logic. And we think that what's happening, of course you do too, that She is being introduced to others who, even family, who are genuinely worried, who really think that they're doing the right thing by trying to guilt you into some behavior so that you can get a certain mark on the chart. And sometimes it's just easier to go get those marks on the chart so they leave you alone. In other words, we don't feel from you like it's a power struggle where you're trying to stand your ground. And we can feel that your greater concern is about what's coming from your child now as she is beginning to be affected by what those around her are thinking and actually worrying about your well-being and her own. So we would appeal to her logic in this way. We would say, what is it about church that is calling you? And what do you think she would say?
She wants to learn more about Jesus, and and I don't have any problems with that. It's just that my fear for that I want them to have a more broader view.
Well, so then start the dialogue. What's there that you think you want? And whatever she says, she might say, well, it's just because somebody goes, or it's because God is there, or it's because I will learn about Jesus, or whatever she says is just fine. It's what she's feeling. And so then say to her, all right, well, we'll think about that. And then as you're moving around your city in your car, point out every church you see and call out what the name of the church is. Oh, look, there's a Catholic church. Do you think God is in there? Oh, look, there's a Methodist church. Do you think God is in there? Oh, look, there's a Mormon church, a Jehovah's Witness church. In other words, point out every church you see and just ask her the question, do you think God is in there? Now, this will appeal to her logic. It will get her to wondering, because what you ultimately are wanting to say to her is, I believe that God is in all of those churches. And then say, oh, look at that house. Do you think God is in there? Oh, look at that tree. Oh, look at that bird. Oh, look at that child. Oh, look at that person. In other words, start out by acknowledging that she's absolutely right, but broaden her view, which is what you're saying you're wanting, by helping her to understand that what she's looking for is everywhere. She may argue with you a little bit. It depends upon how much programming has happened. But then begin saying things to her, such as, isn't this a beautiful world? And isn't it wonderful that we all get to be here? And isn't it wonderful that, call it God if you want to, or Source if you want to, or Jesus if you want to, give it whatever name represents a label that is meaningful to her. Isn't it wonderful how well taken care of we are, that we get to live here because of all of that has been known before? In other words, help her to recognize that what she's looking for is not in one place, and she's not outside of it. And most important, just because she's not jumping through certain hoops doesn't mean that she can ever be left out of it, because that's what's happening to her. Somebody's telling her, you're not doing the things you need to do and you're going to be left out. And your mother's not doing the things she needs to do, and she's going to be left out. And what you want to start helping her to understand from her own personal knowledge is that she is not being left out. And then talk about what you know about how that God, if you want to call it that, you will know best what will be best for her to hear. You can feel when you're allowing yourself connection with that, and you can feel when you're not. And later on, you may even have her ear enough with a few months and years of having these wonderful dialogues with her that you can help her to realize that just because people are using the name of God does not mean that they are a vibrational match to that which is God. More bad stuff goes on this planet under the name of God than all other things put together.
Right.
But you can't start there with her about that, because she's already got this other thing going. And if you push against that, she'll just be sure that you're as bad as they say you are. So that's why we're saying appeal to her logic and help her to feel, and then say to her, I know that God knows you and loves you and is there all the time. And just watch for it and listen for it. And then just watch for those synchronistic things that happen, like the butterfly coming down on her hand earlier, and those things that just give you such a feeling of well-being. They surround this child constantly, point them out until you help her to develop early on. And isn't it wonderful? She's 9. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
You help her to develop early on her personal knowledge of her goodness and her worthiness and her well-being, so that they aren't arguing about which door she should walk through for her blessing, for God's sakes.
Right. And I feel so blessed because I did not have that from my parents growing up. And I feel so blessed to have come into these teachings and this information so that I can...
Here's the thing. We want you to understand this fully. We are in no way pushing against any of those religions or what happens inside any of those doors. When you understand, and you do, that life causes you to want this. Well, a big thing that life causes you to want is to be good, to be valued, to be worthy. And so there are many people that complete that cycle by jumping through those hoops, so to speak, by going to those places. It brings them into alignment. There are many people who are joyful in church. There are many people who are guilty when they're not in church. There are many people who are miserable in church. There is no right or wrong to it. But the thing that is very unpleasant is when someone that is inside any behavior, any ritual, whether it is sacred or secular, whether it is religious or otherwise, when anyone says, this is the way I live and this is the right way to live, and therefore you are wrong if you don't live that way, they're teaching you to get outside of your own guidance system. And in the moment that you do that, you've opened such chaos, because now they're all going to be fighting for your soul. In other words, which church do you go to? Which church really houses God? There was a beautiful woman sitting in this chair many years ago who said, Abraham, is it true that the Jews are the chosen ones? And we said, everyone says that. And she says, everyone says that the Jews are the chosen ones? And we said, no, everyone says that whatever church they go to is the chosen one and that all of the other ones are the wrong ones. And we say, how does that appeal to anyone's logic? In other words, how can you look around this planet and come to such an incredibly narrow perspective? You are all worthy, and you are all open receivers of pure positive energy, which you let in or not. And there are some people who use church to let it in, and there are some people who use church to keep it out. But church is not the common denominator.
Right.
Vibrational alignment or lack of it is the common denominator. So later on, after your first discussions, you might say, I believe that there are many joyful people in church that are really in alignment with their well-being. And there are many who are miserable. And so then you might say, I don't really want to go to church. But I'll tell you, if I ever decided to go, it would be because I thought I would feel better there. So then say, if you feel better there, honey, it's all right with me. I'll take you. I'll drop you off. I'll give you a ride. I'll be there. I'll pick you up when you're finished. I'll make it available to you if you are wanting that.
She wants me to be there and
be saved.
That's
She
that's
wants
probably
she
the
wants
case.
to take you by the hand and lead you to heaven. And what you want to help her to understand is that heaven's not only in church. It's everywhere she goes and everywhere you go. And it'll take a little bit of time. But don't push against whatever she's being told on the other side, because they're telling her that that's what you're going to do. And when you do it, it will just convince her that she needs to convince you all the more that you need to go.
She's very concerned about this.
Of course she is. She loves you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, indeed.